Imagine a moment when all the doors of abundance swing open for you. A moment so powerful, so transformative, that it feels as if the universe itself has whispered its secret to you. What if I told you that this moment is not a distant dream, but a reality you can step into? You're about to uncover how faith holds the key to unlocking a vault of limitless supply. Stay with me, and I'll show you how to claim what's rightfully yours. Faith is a powerful and transformative force. It is not merely an abstract concept, it is a living, breathing energy that has the ability to unlock the doors to a life of abundance and possibility. The key to activating this power lies in understanding that faith is not passive. It is active. It requires a shift in your thinking, a shift in your belief system, and an unwavering trust that what you desire is already on its way to you. When you embrace this mindset, you open yourself to a world of endless potential, a world where your dreams are not just dreams, but realities waiting to manifest. Faith is the key that opens the vault of abundance. This vault, which holds everything you need, has always been within your reach, but it requires the key of faith to unlock it. This vault is not a physical one. It is a metaphysical vault, a spiritual one, filled with every possibility, every blessing, every desire you could ever have. Yet, it remains locked for as long as you continue to operate from a place of doubt, fear, or insecurity. Doubt is the lock that prevents the vault from opening, while faith is the key that turns it open. Imagine for a moment that you are standing in front of a great, majestic vault. It is heavy, made of solid, unyielding metal, and it holds treasures beyond your wildest dreams. Perhaps inside it are financial riches, a loving relationship, a fulfilling career, or the perfect health you have longed for. You can see the vault, you can feel its energy, but you are unable to access what's inside because the lock is too strong. The good news is that the lock isn't real. It only appears real because you have not yet discovered the key. But that key, the one that will open the vault and release all that you desire, is already within you. The key to unlocking the vault of abundance is your faith. Faith is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the substance that turns the invisible into the visible. It is the power that transforms the intangible into the tangible. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is not a fleeting hope that maybe, just maybe, something good will happen. No, faith is the knowing, the deep, inner understanding that what you desire is already on its way to you. When you embrace this knowing, you align yourself with the divine laws of the universe, and the universe responds by opening the vault of supply. Faith operates on the principle of alignment. It requires you to align your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, and your energy with the idea that abundance is already yours. When you do this, you send out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. This signal is clear, strong, and unwavering. The universe, in turn, aligns with your energy and begins to draw the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life. Just as a magnet draws metal, your faith draws your desires toward you. The moment you truly believe that your supply is unlimited, the doors to the vault open. There is no longer any resistance to what you want. You no longer feel the need to chase after it, to struggle for it, or to hope for it. Faith allows you to relax into the knowing that what is yours is already on its way. When you release the fear of lack, the fear of scarcity, and the fear of not having enough, you create space for abundance to flow freely into your life. Faith is also a shield against the negativity and doubts that can creep in and try to close the vault again. You must be vigilant, not only in maintaining your faith, but in guarding it against any thoughts or beliefs that contradict it. Doubt is a silent thief. It enters unnoticed, and before you know it, it can lock up the vault once again. The key to keeping the vault open is to nurture your faith, to feed it with positive thoughts, affirmations, and actions that are aligned with your desires. When you have faith, you trust that the universe is always working on your behalf. Even when things don't appear to be going your way, you trust that everything is unfolding perfectly. Faith allows you to see the bigger picture, the one that the human mind cannot always comprehend. It allows you to step back and trust that even in the face of challenges, the universe is leading you toward the fulfillment of your desires. The vault may not always open immediately, but with faith, you know that it will, and you are prepared to receive what it holds. The process of faith is also about patience. Faith requires you to understand that everything happens in divine timing. The vault of abundance is always ready to open, but there may be times when the universe needs to align certain conditions or clear certain paths before it can be fully unlocked. Patience is not about waiting idly for your desires to come to you. It is about trusting that the universe is preparing everything you need, and that when the time is right, everything will fall into place. Faith allows you to remain calm and assured during this waiting period, knowing that the right things are happening behind the scenes. Faith also invites you to take inspired action. It is not enough to just believe. You must also be willing to act on the opportunities that come your way. Faith does not mean sitting back and waiting for things to happen on their own. Instead, it means trusting that when you take action, the universe will support you. It means moving forward with confidence, knowing that every step you take is one step closer to unlocking the vault. When you truly understand the power of faith, you begin to see that the vault is not something distant or far away. It is not something that you must struggle to attain. It is not a prize that you must fight for. The vault of abundance is already within you. It is not external, it is an internal state of alignment with the divine flow of the universe. The moment you align your faith with your desires, the vault opens, and everything you need flows to you effortlessly. Faith is not just a belief in the outcome. It is a belief in the process. It is the trust that the universe knows exactly what you need, when you need it, and how to bring it to you. It is the trust that everything in your life is working in perfect harmony, even if you can't yet see the full picture. When you have faith, you allow the universe to work its magic. You surrender to the divine flow and let go of the need to control everything. In doing so, you step into a space of true abundance, where the vault is always open, and the supply is endless. Faith is your invitation to step into a life of limitless possibilities. It is the key to unlocking everything you desire, everything you deserve. You hold the key, and when you turn it with unwavering trust, you open the vault to a life filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment. The vault is waiting for you, and with faith, you have the power to unlock it. Every thought, word, and action that we express is a command to the universe. This may sound like a bold statement, but it is the truth of the universe's laws. We are constantly communicating with the unseen forces that govern the world around us, whether we are aware of it or not. Our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs send vibrations into the world that echo back to us in the form of our reality. The universe is always listening, always responding. It does not judge, it simply responds to the vibrations we send out. Which means that we have the power to shape our lives by understanding the way we communicate with the universe. It is through faith that we are able to understand how our thoughts and words can act as silent commands to the universe. Faith is the belief in something greater than ourselves, a trust in the unseen, a knowing that there is a divine order at work. When we act from a place of deep faith, our vibrations become aligned with the energies of the universe, and we begin to send out signals that are received and answered in kind. The universe does not require you to explain every detail of your desire. It only needs to hear your faith, your certainty that what you ask for is already yours. It's important to recognize that the universe operates on a law of attraction, meaning that it does not just respond to what we say or what we ask for. It responds to what we truly believe. If you say something, but deep down you have doubts or negative beliefs that contradict your words, the universe picks up on those vibrations instead. This is why affirmations alone are not enough. They must be backed by unwavering belief. Faith is the energy behind your words. Without it, your words are like empty vessels, carrying no power. But when you speak with faith, those words are imbued with the energy that can shift your reality. For example, consider a person who is seeking financial abundance. They may say affirmations such as, "I am rich," or "money comes easily to me." But if deep down they believe that money is hard to come by, that it requires years of struggle, or that they aren't worthy of it, their words alone cannot shift their financial situation. The universe will respond to the vibration of their beliefs, not just their affirmations. But when someone speaks the same affirmations with deep faith, trusting that money is already on its way, knowing that abundance is their divine birthright, the universe responds differently. The vibrations of belief send a clear signal to the universe, opening the pathways for financial abundance to flow. This is where the power of silence comes into play. Silence is not the absence of noise, but the absence of doubt. It is the space where belief and faith can grow. When we truly believe in the manifestation of our desires, we no longer need to shout them from the rooftops. The universe knows what we desire, and it will respond. The moment we speak our desires with faith, we no longer feel the need to continue asking, because we trust that they are already on their way. The key is to be still and allow the universe to work behind the scenes. This silence speaks louder than words. It is the signal that we have let go of control and trust that everything is unfolding in perfect order. This is why faith is not just about asking for what we want. It is about aligning with the divine law of supply. Faith teaches us to stop chasing after our desires, because when we believe they are already ours, we stop seeking them. We stop doubting that they are coming to us. We trust that the universe is already at work bringing our desires into our reality. In this state of faith, we are no longer scrambling or striving for the things we want. Instead, we are in a state of peace, knowing that the universe is moving to deliver them in the most perfect and timely way. The law of attraction does not require force or struggle. It is not a system of trying to control the universe, but rather a system of trusting that the universe will respond to us in the exact way we need. By understanding this, we begin to realize that we are always in control, not in the way we typically think through effort or manipulation, but in the way we think, believe, and speak. Our thoughts and words, when filled with faith, have the power to create our experiences. The universe does not judge what we desire. It only judges the energy we emit. If we send out thoughts of lack, fear, or doubt, the universe responds with lack, fear, and doubt. But when we send out thoughts of faith, abundance, and trust, the universe responds with those same qualities. It is through the power of faith that we are able to activate the law of attraction. When we trust that the universe is always listening, we begin to consciously shape our reality. Every prayer, every affirmation, every thought becomes a direct message to the universe. But these messages are not just words. They are vibrational signals, and they must be aligned with the energy of faith to be effective. Faith amplifies our desires and sends them out into the universe with the strength they need to manifest. Without faith, our desires are weak and scattered, but with faith, they become powerful and unstoppable. Faith also teaches us to stop focusing on the how. One of the biggest obstacles to manifesting our desires is the need to control the process. We often get stuck in the how of our desires. How will it happen? When will it happen? What do I need to do to make it happen? This need to control the outcome creates resistance, and resistance blocks the flow of abundance. Faith is the key to releasing this need for control. When we have faith, we trust that the universe knows the perfect way to deliver what we desire. We trust that it will come to us in the right way, at the right time, through the right channels. Our only role is to believe, to receive, and to be open to the gifts the universe is bringing us. Faith allows us to release fear. Fear is the opposite of faith. Fear is the belief that what we desire will not come to us, or that we are not worthy of receiving it. When we have faith, we release that fear and step into the knowing that the universe will provide. Fear keeps us in a state of lack, but faith keeps us in a state of abundance. It is only through faith that we can transcend our fears and step fully into the flow of divine supply. When we begin to speak with faith, the universe responds by aligning the events of our lives to bring us closer to our desires. This is the magic of faith. It aligns everything in our life to match our beliefs. When we believe that we are worthy of love, wealth, health, or success, The universe rearranges itself to bring those things to us. When we speak with faith, the world responds in kind. Our words, our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions all begin to align with the energy of our desires, and that alignment is the key to unlocking everything we want. The universe always listens. It always responds. It does not care about the specifics of our desires, it only cares about the energy behind them. When we speak with faith, we activate a process that works for us, even if we can't always see it happening. Faith is the bridge between what we desire and the manifestation of that desire in our reality. It is the invisible force that makes the unseen become seen, the intangible become tangible, and the impossible become possible. When we speak with faith, we are not just wishing for something to happen. We are commanding the universe to bring it into our lives, knowing that it will obey. In the realm of manifestation and faith, the concept of timing plays a crucial role. The universe operates not just on the basis of our desires, but on divine timing, an aspect that many often overlook. While we may feel an urgent need for our desires to materialize, we must remember that the universe moves in its own rhythm, one that aligns perfectly with what we need, when we need it. This is where faith becomes essential, for it is through faith that we learn to trust in divine timing and allow things to unfold at the most opportune moment. Understanding the timing of your supply requires a shift in perspective. Often, people believe that their desires are not manifesting because they are not doing enough or are not deserving enough. However, the truth is that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring your desires to fruition. Divine timing is not something that is arbitrary, nor is it something that can be rushed. It is a process that aligns the various elements of your life in perfect harmony. It is the universe's way of ensuring that everything falls into place at the right time, in the right way. One of the key aspects of divine timing is the understanding that your desires must align with the energy of the universe at the right moment. You may have an intense desire for something, but if the conditions aren't right, if the timing isn't aligned with the flow of the universe, those desires may not come to fruition. It's like planting a seed. You cannot rush the growth of the plant. You must wait for the soil, the water, the light, and the right season to allow that seed to blossom. Similarly, when you plant the seed of your desire through faith, the universe begins to prepare everything around you to ensure that when the time is right, it will bloom into reality. This is why patience is so important in the process of manifestation. Faith teaches us that just because we do not see immediate results does not mean that our desires are not being processed by the universe. The seeds of our desires are being nurtured, and divine timing ensures that everything necessary for their manifestation is aligned. This is why it is essential to trust in the universe's timing. When we try to rush the process or force things to happen on our timeline, we interfere with the natural flow and create resistance. Resistance only delays the process. But when we trust and wait with faith, we allow the universe to work in its own time, bringing everything together in the most perfect and timely way. Timing also involves being in the right state of mind and energy to receive what we desire. If we are constantly in a state of anxiety, impatience, or doubt, we are sending out conflicting vibrations that disrupt the flow of manifestation. Faith teaches us that we must not only trust in divine timing, but also prepare ourselves internally for the abundance that is coming. We must let go of any fears or doubts that may prevent us from receiving our desires. In many cases, the delay in receiving what we want is not due to a lack of effort or a failure on our part, but because we are not yet fully aligned with the energy of abundance. This alignment requires that we release any limiting beliefs or negative emotions that may block the flow of our desires. When we make the internal shift and align our energy with our desires, we clear the way for the universe to deliver at the perfect time. Divine timing also ensures that the right opportunities come at the right moment. We may believe that we need a particular job, a certain amount of money, or a specific relationship in order to be happy or fulfilled. However, the universe knows the bigger picture and understands that some desires must be manifested in a certain sequence. For example, If you were to receive a large sum of money before you were mentally or emotionally prepared for it, you may not know how to handle it or might misuse it. Or, if you were to enter into a relationship before you had fully healed from past wounds, the relationship might not be healthy or fulfilling. The universe, in its wisdom, ensures that you are prepared for what you seek. It brings you what you need when you are ready to receive it, and when the circumstances are ideal for it to bring you true happiness and fulfillment. One of the most profound lessons in understanding divine timing is the realization that sometimes what we want is not what we truly need. We may set our hearts on a specific outcome, but the universe has something even better in store for us. Something that we may not have considered, or something we are not yet able to imagine. Divine timing is about surrendering to the wisdom of the universe and allowing it to bring you what is truly in alignment with your highest good. When we try to force our desires to manifest in a certain way or according to our limited understanding, we may block ourselves from receiving something greater. Faith allows us to trust that the universe knows better than we do and that the timing of our desires is part of a greater plan that is designed for our highest good. Furthermore, divine timing ensures that when our desires do manifest, we are in a position to fully appreciate and make the most of them. There may be experiences, lessons, or growth that we need to go through before we are ready to receive the abundance that is coming our way. Without these preparations, we may not fully understand or value the blessings that come our way. Divine timing allows us to grow into the person we need to become in order to handle the gifts that the universe has for us. It is through this process of growth and self-awareness that we become more equipped to handle the success, love, and prosperity that are coming to us. There is also a relationship between divine timing and trust. When we trust in the timing of the universe, we are releasing the need to control and manipulate situations. Control is often driven by fear. The fear that we won't get what we want, the fear that we won't have enough, or the fear that we are not worthy. Trust is the antidote to this fear. When we trust that the universe is always working in our favor, we release the grip of control and allow things to unfold naturally. This trust is what makes divine timing work in our favor. It is a sign of our faith in the universe's ability to provide exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. The concept of divine timing is not just a philosophical idea, it is a real and tangible force that shapes our lives. It teaches us that our desires are not just random whims but part of a greater, universal plan. Our desires are the seeds that we plant in the garden of life, and divine timing is the sunlight, water, and soil that nurture them into fruition. It is through our faith in divine timing that we learn to relax, to let go of the need to control, and to trust in the perfect unfolding of our lives. When we align ourselves with this divine flow, we begin to see that everything happens for a reason and at the right time. We stop questioning why things are happening or not happening, and we begin to trust that everything is moving according to a higher order. Through this trust, we open ourselves to receiving everything we need in perfect divine timing. Faith is often misunderstood as a passive force, something that simply requires us to believe in something without action or involvement. However, true faith is active, dynamic, and profoundly empowering. One of the most powerful aspects of faith is its relationship to silence. Silence is not the absence of sound, but the absence of doubt. When we speak of faith in the traditional sense, we often refer to a belief in something that is not yet seen or tangible. But there is an even deeper, more profound layer to faith that operates in the realm of silence. It is the inner knowing, the quiet conviction, that what we desire is already on its way to us, even though we may not yet see the evidence in the physical world. The power of silence in faith is the space where manifestation begins. It is the place where we align our inner world with the external world, where we stop questioning, doubting, or fearing, and allow ourselves to fully trust in the process. Silence does not mean inaction, nor does it imply a state of passivity. Instead, silence is the energetic space in which faith operates. It is where we stop talking about our desires endlessly and start trusting the universe to deliver them in its own time and in its own way. In this silence, there is no need to force or push, there is only the quiet assurance that all is unfolding as it should. In the noisy world we live in, we are constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and distractions. This external noise often feeds our doubts and insecurities. We are told that we must work harder, strive more, and seek validation from others in order to achieve success and happiness. Yet, it is in silence that we find the true power of faith. The world outside may be chaotic, but within, in the stillness, we can tap into the unlimited potential of the universe. This silence is where we learn to trust that we are already in alignment with the abundant flow of life. It is where we let go of the need to control, the need to know every detail, and the need to rush the process. In the silence of our faith, we surrender to the divine order of the universe. Silence is a form of trust. It is the confidence that the universe is always working on our behalf, even when we cannot see the evidence. When we are in the silence of faith, we do not feel the need to announce our desires to the world or explain our every action. We do not feel the need to justify our beliefs or prove that our dreams are possible. Instead, we simply allow ourselves to be still and to know that the universe is listening. The power of silence is that it removes the interference of doubt. It is a deep, inner knowing that what we desire is already on its way, and we do not need to rush or force its arrival. Silence also creates space for clarity. When we are constantly speaking, thinking, or worrying about our desires, we can become overwhelmed with confusion and doubt. Our minds are filled with conflicting thoughts and emotions that make it difficult to discern what is truly in alignment with our highest good. But when we quiet the noise, we create space for the wisdom of the universe to enter. This is when true guidance can flow. In silence, we are able to hear our inner voice, the gentle whisper that leads us in the right direction. Faith in silence allows us to hear the answers that the universe is constantly sending us, but that we may have missed when we were too busy or too distracted. This silence also helps us align our energy with our desires. The act of speaking about something repeatedly, especially in a state of doubt or impatience, can weaken the vibrational frequency of our desires. Words have power, but the energy behind them is what truly shapes our reality. When we constantly talk about our desires, we may inadvertently send out signals of lack or desperation. On the other hand, when we speak in faith, knowing that what we want is already on its way, we amplify the energy of our desires. But silence, when used in alignment with faith, allows us to hold the vibration of our desires without the interference of external chatter. In this silence, we hold our desires firmly in our hearts, knowing that the universe is already moving to deliver them to us. The key to using silence effectively is to stop asking when or how. The more we focus on the timing or the details, the more we distract ourselves from the power of faith. The universe is always working in the background to bring our desires to us. But the more we obsess over the process, the more we resist the flow. Silence allows us to release the attachment to outcomes and to trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when we cannot see it. Faith in silence is the belief that the universe knows exactly when and how to deliver what we need. It is about trusting the divine intelligence that orchestrates the universe and allowing it to work without our interference. In silence, we also find the strength to release control. Control is one of the greatest obstacles to faith. When we try to control the process of manifestation, we close ourselves off from the flow of abundance. Control is rooted in fear. Fear that things won't happen the way we want them to. Fear that we won't get what we desire, or fear that we are not worthy of receiving. Faith in silence allows us to release this fear and trust that the universe will deliver our desires in the most perfect way. It is in this silence that we surrender our need to control and instead step into the flow of trust and abundance. Faith in silence is not about ignoring our desires or suppressing our emotions. It is about releasing the need to constantly push, strive, or talk about what we want. It is the deep understanding that everything is unfolding according to a divine plan, and we do not need to rush or force it. The silence of faith allows us to be present in the moment, to trust the process, and to let go of the need to have everything figured out. It is in this silence that we find peace, knowing that we are always in the right place at the right time. One of the most profound aspects of silence in faith is that it creates a sense of inner peace and contentment. When we are caught in the noise of our thoughts, our desires, and our external circumstances, we often feel restless or anxious. We are constantly seeking something outside of ourselves to fulfill us. But in silence, we realize that we are already whole and complete. Faith in silence is the recognition that we do not need to constantly chase after our desires, because everything we need is already within us. We are already connected to the abundance of the universe. In this space, we are able to relax and trust that everything is unfolding in divine order. Faith in silence is also a form of alignment. When we are quiet and still, we are able to align our energy with the flow of the universe. This alignment is what allows our desires to manifest effortlessly. The more we practice silence and trust, the more we align ourselves with the divine flow of life. This alignment ensures that the universe can deliver our desires to us in the most harmonious and perfect way. We are no longer working against the flow. We are moving with it, trusting that everything we need will come to us at the right time. Silence is a powerful tool in the practice of faith. It is not a passive act, but a profound alignment with the energy of the universe. In the silence of faith, we let go of doubt, fear, and resistance, and instead trust in the divine process of manifestation. It is in this silence that we find clarity, peace, and alignment with our desires. The power of silence is the key to unlocking the full potential of faith, and when we learn to embrace it, we unlock the doors to unlimited abundance and possibility. Faith is not just a passive belief, it is a powerful and dynamic force that requires action, alignment, and commitment. One of the most profound aspects of faith is the understanding that it must be cultivated and nurtured over time. Just as a plant requires water, sunlight, and care to grow, so too does faith require attention, practice, and a willingness to believe even when there is no tangible evidence to support it. Cultivating faith is an ongoing process that involves not just thinking positively or wishing for things to happen, but actively aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the desires you wish to manifest. Faith does not simply appear overnight, it is a seed that must be planted and nurtured. It requires patience, trust, and a willingness to face challenges without letting doubt or fear take root. The process of cultivating faith is one that happens within. It involves learning to trust your inner voice, your intuition, and the subtle guidance that comes from deep within your being. The more you practice this trust, the more you begin to see the evidence of your faith in your life. The first step in cultivating faith is to recognize and acknowledge the power that lies within you. You are not a passive observer of life, you are an active participant in shaping your reality. The universe is always responding to the energy you put out into the world, and faith is the energy that aligns you with the flow of abundance, love, and prosperity. When you begin to trust that everything you need is already within your reach, you start to see the world through a different lens. You no longer view yourself as a victim of circumstances. Instead, you begin to see yourself as a creator of your own reality. Cultivating faith is about recognizing your innate power and trusting that you are capable of manifesting your desires. A key component of cultivating faith is learning to let go of fear and doubt. Fear is the antithesis of faith. It is the energy that holds us back, that keeps us in a state of lack and scarcity, preventing us from stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be. When fear and doubt are allowed to take root, they block the flow of abundance and manifestation in our lives. Cultivating faith requires that we actively choose to release fear and replace it with trust. This process is not always easy, as fear has a way of creeping in when things don't seem to be going as planned. But faith teaches us that everything happens for a reason, and even in the face of challenges, there is always a greater plan at work. The more you practice faith, the easier it becomes to recognize fear for what it is, a temporary feeling that can be overcome. To cultivate faith, it is essential to focus on the present moment. One of the most common reasons that people struggle to manifest their desires is because they are constantly focused on the future. They are anxious about when or how their desires will manifest, and this anxiety creates resistance. Faith, however, is rooted in the present moment. It is about trusting that everything you need is already on its way, and that you are exactly where you need to be. When you focus on the present and release the need to control or worry about the future, you open yourself up to receiving what you desire in the most effortless way. Faith requires that you remain grounded in the now, knowing that the universe is always at work on your behalf, even when you cannot see it. Another important aspect of cultivating faith is learning to believe in the unseen. Faith is the belief in something that cannot be immediately observed with the physical senses. It is the ability to trust that what you desire is already in motion, even if you cannot see it manifesting right away. This is where many people struggle. They may have a desire, but when they don't see immediate results, they begin to doubt and question whether their faith is working. Cultivating faith means learning to trust in the unseen, to believe that the universe is always working behind the scenes to bring your desires to fruition. The more you practice this trust, the more you begin to notice subtle signs and synchronicities that indicate your desires are on their way. Faith is also about developing a mindset of abundance. Many people are conditioned to believe in scarcity of love, money, opportunity, and success. They may believe that there is only a limited amount of good things to go around, and that in order to receive, they must fight for it or compete with others. Cultivating faith requires a shift in mindset from a belief in scarcity to a belief in abundance. Abundance is not just about material wealth. It is about recognizing that there is an infinite supply of everything you need in life: love, peace, success, and opportunity. When you cultivate faith, you begin to see that the universe is not limited, and there is always more than enough to go around. This mindset of abundance opens the door to unlimited possibilities and opportunities. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate faith is through daily practice. Faith is not a one-time event or something that you simply hope for. It is something that requires consistent attention and care. This can be as simple as starting your day with a positive affirmation or spending a few moments in quiet reflection, reminding yourself that everything you need is already on its way. Cultivating faith requires that you stay connected to your inner self and the divine flow of energy that is constantly surrounding you. The more you engage in daily practices that align you with your desires, the stronger your faith becomes. Over time, you begin to see the results of your efforts, and your belief in the power of faith grows exponentially. Another key aspect of cultivating faith is taking inspired action. Faith is not just about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It is about trusting that when you take action, the universe will meet you halfway. Inspired action is action that feels right, action that is in alignment with your desires and your purpose. It may come in the form of a new idea, a new opportunity, or a sudden urge to take a particular step. Faith allows you to recognize and act on these moments of inspiration, knowing that the universe is guiding you toward your highest good. When you take inspired action with faith, you open the door to even greater manifestations. Cultivating faith is a journey, not a destination. It is something that evolves over time as you learn to trust yourself, the universe, and the process of manifestation. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to believe in the unseen and trust that everything is unfolding perfectly. The key is to remain patient and committed, knowing that your desires are already on their way, even if you cannot see them yet. Faith is the key to unlocking the doors to abundance, and the more you cultivate it, the more you will see your dreams come to life in ways you never imagined. When you live with faith, it becomes a guiding force in everything you do. It shifts your perception of the world around you and alters how you interact with life's challenges and opportunities. Faith is the lens through which you see the world, and when you truly embrace it, you begin to see that abundance is all around you. It is not something you have to chase or fight for. It is something you can attract effortlessly. This realization changes everything, for it opens your eyes to the infinite possibilities that exist, even in situations where others might see lack or limitation. With faith, you step into a life of abundance where everything you need is already in place. Living in the abundance of faith is about shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of limitless potential. The scarcity mindset often leads us to believe that resources are limited, whether it's love, money, opportunities, or happiness. This belief creates fear and anxiety as we feel we have to fight for what we want. We operate from a place of lack, constantly worried about whether there will be enough to go around. We believe that success is a rare commodity that only a select few are entitled to, and we have to work hard, often at the expense of our happiness, to obtain it. This belief system holds us captive, and it prevents us from fully stepping into the abundance that the universe is constantly offering. Faith, however, offers a radically different way of living. It teaches us that abundance is not only available to us, but that it is already in our lives, even if we do not yet recognize it. Abundance is not about having more of what you want. It's about recognizing the wealth of resources, opportunities, love, and joy that are already surrounding you. Faith helps you see the truth, that the universe operates on the principle of infinite supply, and you are always supported, even in moments when it might feel like there is a shortage. When you embrace this mindset of abundance, you stop focusing on what you don't have and begin to see the fullness of what you already possess. Living in the abundance of faith also means stepping into a state of acceptance. Faith is not about pushing, striving, or constantly trying to make things happen. It is about surrendering to the flow of life and trusting that everything you need will come to you at the perfect time. When you embrace this way of being, you stop forcing outcomes and instead align yourself with the natural rhythms of the universe. You trust that the right people, opportunities, and experiences will come into your life at the right time. There is no rush because you know that what is meant for you is already on its way. This deep trust allows you to relax and let go of the need to control every aspect of your life. One of the most powerful shifts that happens when you live in the abundance of faith is that you begin to see the world differently. Instead of viewing obstacles and setbacks as challenges or failures, you see them as opportunities for growth. Faith helps you understand that there is no such thing as a permanent defeat. Every setback is simply a detour on your path to success, and each one brings you closer to the lessons you need to learn in order to receive the abundance that is waiting for you. When you live in faith, you know that every experience, whether good or bad, is part of your journey toward greater understanding, wisdom, and prosperity. This shift in perception also affects how you interact with other people. When you live in the abundance of faith, you stop competing with others. You no longer feel threatened by someone else's success because you understand that their success does not diminish your own potential. There is enough for everyone. Faith in abundance allows you to celebrate the achievements of others without feeling jealous or envious, because you know that there is more than enough success, wealth, and love to go around. You can embrace a collaborative mindset, knowing that when others succeed, they are not taking something away from you. They are contributing to the overall wealth of the world. This understanding fosters a sense of community, support, and mutual encouragement, and it helps to build a positive and uplifting environment for everyone. Another powerful aspect of living in the abundance of faith is that it attracts more of the same. Faith is a magnet for what you desire. When you live with the conviction that abundance is already yours, you begin to attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with that belief. The universe is always responding to your energy, and when your energy is rooted in faith, it becomes a powerful force that draws abundance into your life. It's as if the world begins to conspire in your favor, bringing you everything you need at exactly the right moment. Opportunities that you never thought possible suddenly present themselves, and doors that were previously closed begin to open. The more you live in the flow of faith, the more you begin to see the world reflect your belief in abundance. Living in the abundance of faith also means living in a state of gratitude. Gratitude is the acknowledgement of the wealth that already exists in your life, and it is the energy that amplifies the flow of abundance. When you are grateful for what you already have, you signal to the universe that you are open to receiving even more. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. It shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you do, and this shift in perception opens the floodgates for more abundance to flow into your life. The more you practice gratitude, the more you realize that abundance is not just about material wealth. It is about the richness of your experiences, relationships, and personal growth. Faith also teaches us that abundance is not just about receiving. It is about giving. One of the most powerful ways to tap into the flow of abundance is to give freely without expectation. When you give from a place of faith, you are acknowledging the infinite supply of the universe and trusting that by giving, you are making space for even greater abundance to come into your life. Giving is not just about material possessions, it is about giving your time, your love, your energy, and your support to others. When you give from a place of faith, you activate the flow of abundance, not just for yourself, but for everyone you come into contact with. Giving is a powerful expression of your belief in the universe's infinite supply. Living in the abundance of faith is about creating a life that is aligned with your highest values and desires. It is not about chasing after external markers of success or trying to prove your worth. It is about trusting that everything you need, everything you desire, is already on its way to you. Faith helps you to relax into this knowing and allows you to live your life with ease, joy, and a sense of peace. It helps you let go of the constant striving and searching for something outside of yourself, and instead, it teaches you to look within and recognize that the abundance you seek is already there, waiting for you to claim it. When you live in faith, you are living in the truth of who you are, a powerful, abundant being connected to the limitless potential of the universe. This moment, this once-in-a-lifetime moment, is yours. Faith is not something that you hope will work. It is the very tool that unlocks the vault of supply, and it is always available to you. Your belief in what you cannot see is the magic that brings forth all that you desire. Trust in this moment. Trust in faith. The vault is open, and all that is yours is waiting to be claimed.